Hello and welcome. In my work helping hotels use modern technology to improve their operations, I've had a front row seat to one of the biggest shifts in the industry, and that's how we define luxury itself. So today, we're going to dive into what that evolution really means for you, the next generation of hospitality leaders. It's a real pleasure to welcome all of you from Europe Hotel School to this online learning journey. This whole program is designed to give you practical, high-level knowledge that you can actually use in your careers. We're really looking forward to supporting your growth in this incredible industry. So, how did we get to where we are today? Well, we'll start by looking back at what we'll call the old era of luxury. Then, we'll unpack the big shift in guest values that really changed everything. After that, we'll break down the new pillars of modern hospitality, see how technology fits into the picture, and finally, look ahead to why the future of luxury is, and has to be, a responsible one. Right, so to understand where we're going, we first have to get a clear picture of where we've been. Let's talk about the traditional definition of luxury, which for a very, very long time was all about things you could see and touch, the physical assets. This slide really gets to the heart of the whole paradigm shift. Think of it like this. We've moved from what we can call the hardware of a hotel, its physical structure and decor, to the software, the emotional experience it actually delivers. The value isn't just in the assets anymore, it's in the art of creating unique, unforgettable moments. In the past, you could literally feel the luxury. It was in the heavy silverware, the marble-covered lobbies, the massive crystal chandeliers. The service was always formal, a bit distant, and very scripted. This whole model, what we call conspicuous luxury, was designed to be a very public announcement of a person's status. So, you have to ask, what caused such a huge change? Well, the answer isn't something that happened inside the hotels themselves. It's in the evolving mindset, the psychology of the guests. And this right here is the absolute key. In the past, luxury was a social signal. It was about showing off your status to other people. But today, it's so often an internal experience, something focused on self-enrichment and personal growth. It's become less about what you have and so much more about who you're becoming. Now, this big psychological shift demands a totally new way of operating. We call it bespoke relevance. That old one-size-fits-all model of excellence, it's just gone. Today's luxury is completely subjective. What one guest thinks is a perfect, attentive experience, another might find totally intrusive. So the real challenge for you is to develop the emotional intelligence to read the situation and adapt in real time. Okay, so this brings us right to the heart of the new luxury model. We're talking about those intangible elements, the software of service that truly defines what a high-end experience feels like today. We can really break this down into three foundational pillars. First, there's authenticity, which gives a guest a real sense of place. Second, there's personalization, which gives them a sense of being truly understood. And third, it's all about building emotional value, which is what creates that lasting connection. For decades, travelers wanted that comfort of knowing a suite in London would feel exactly like one in Tokyo. But today, that kind of predictability can feel, well, a little boring, a little sterile. Modern guests are craving a genuine sense of place. They want to feel the unique soul of their destination. And here's how you do it. A great property becomes a gateway to the local culture, not just a place to sleep. It's about moving way beyond just superficial decor and actually telling a deep, compelling story about the location. That is how you build incredible emotional trust with your guests. The second pillar, personalization, is no longer just about remembering a guest's name. It's now about the intelligent anticipation of their needs, often before the guest has even thought to ask. It's all about making them feel truly, genuinely seen. And that leads us to the ultimate goal, which is building what we call memory capital. Think of this as the emotional residue, the feeling that stays with a guest long after they've checked out. It is, without a doubt, the single most powerful driver of brand loyalty in today's market. Memory capital is built in these small human moments. It's a staff member who sees a guest after a long flight and just knows they're exhausted, or remembers a tiny little detail from a stay that happened months ago. These are the touch points that create a deep sense of belonging and shift the entire focus from the building to the human connection happening inside it. Now, you're probably wondering, where does technology fit into this very human-focused model? Well, its role is really sophisticated and, ideally, almost completely invisible. This is such a crucial balance to get right. Technology should never, ever replace the human element. Its real job is to work silently in the background, empowering your staff to provide an even more seamless, more personal, and more human experience. Just think about all the little friction points in a guest journey. Technology is amazing at solving them. Mobile check-in gets rid of lines, which creates the space for a genuinely warm human welcome. Advanced guest profiles help your team anticipate needs, making a guest feel truly cared for. See, technology removes the logistical headaches, which frees up your team to focus on what actually matters, that human connection. And finally, let's look at the next evolution, which frankly is already happening. The definition of luxury is expanding one more time to include both ethical and environmental responsibility. We call this conscientious luxury. Modern guests want to know that their indulgence isn't coming at the expense of the planet or the local community. They want their own values and their desire for a high-end experience to line up perfectly. So, when you put it all together, you see the complete story. Modern luxury isn't about choosing one of these things from a list. It's about weaving opulence, authenticity, personalization, and responsibility into a single, seamless narrative that creates a deep emotional resonance with the guest. And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. Guests are no longer just buying a night in a nice room. They're investing in an emotional outcome. They're looking for an experience that enriches them, that maybe even changes them in some small, meaningful way. As the future leaders in this industry, this completely redefines your role. You aren't just managers of a property anymore. You are curators of memory, you are architects of feeling, and you are the guardians of your brand's emotional integrity. So I'll leave you with this question to think about as you continue your studies. It's really the central challenge and the greatest opportunity of your entire career. Beyond just providing a room, beyond the five-star amenities, how are you going to create an emotional legacy?